भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणललिता सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनदारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिते नामिने नमाचार्य पादाय निताय कृपादाय। Hare Krishna, everybody. So we welcome you all for our Saturday Srimad Bhagavatam session, which we do every week in the morning. And I think that's the best way to start our weekend, because all 5 days we are busy with our work and other responsibilities. So I think weekend is the time where we can nicely dedicate our time to Krishna. Although when I said the shloka Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, so every Krishna consciousness means every moment of our life is dedicated to Krishna. But unfortunately, we are in Kali Yuga, and we need earning, we need take care of family, grasta life. Life is not so simple as it used to be earlier. So, but at least when we have the time, when we have little leisure time, that time we can utilize completely in the service of Krishna, and that will help us to make progress in Krishna consciousness. So we have to discuss third canto, 26th chapter. Let me share the screen. I don't have any PPT today, so one minute. I think I have not opened the correct. So last week we had a wonderful session and by Rohini Mataji, and the chapter itself was very interesting because the name of the chapter was 25th chapter is the glories of devotional service. So when I was preparing for 26th chapter, then I was feeling a little jealous that I should have got it, opportunity to speak last week, because there are so much, so many interesting points are there. But in today's chapter, a little bit, it's a dry chapter, and we have discussed this a couple of times. So I will just use some pointers from previous session, which are more relevant to our day-to-day practical devotional service. And then we will move to 26th chapter. And if possible, I don't know, if time permits, maybe some glories of Lord Jagannath, some pastimes of Jagannath, if we can discuss. I'm not sure. If we get time, surely we'll at least one or two pastimes of the Lord will try to discuss. So the context which is going on now is that Lord Kapila, the Kapildev, is the supreme personality of Godhead. He has taken birth from the womb of Mother Devahuti, and his father is Rishi Kardam Muni. And many chapters have gone where we had seen that how Devahuti, who is the daughter of Manu, she's the princess, and Manu is the king of whole universe, and how she, just by the order of Lord Vishnu and his father, his father Manu, she goes and marries Kardamuni, and she serves him nicely. And then she expresses her desire, so she becomes very frail, very weak, by this thing. And then by the grace of Kardamuni, makes a Vimana and take her to the various lokas, and they enjoy. And then at last she expresses her desire that she wants to be, beget children. And then they get the 9 daughters and 1 son, which is Kapil Deva, and all the daughters are married to the sages. And now Kardamuni decides to take sannyas, and he goes. And we had seen in previous chapters how Mother Devahuti laments that she didn't utilize the opportunity of taking a association of her husband. But Kardamuni says that their son is Lord himself, so you will get all the knowledge from him. So now this next, from 25th to I think 31 or 32 chapters, are the conversation between Lord Kapila and Mother Devahuti. So that this chapter 25th, it started with Shaunak Rishi glorifying Lord Kapila. And, so ultimately it's a conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. So, and after glorifying the Supreme Lord, so Maitreya Rishi, he starts telling that Mother Devahuti, she approached Lord Kapila. So in those, if you see on the screen, text 7, so Devahuti is saying, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by the material senses, or because of this sense disturbance, I have fallen into abyss of ignorance. So, but one good thing is that Mother Devahuti, she knows that Lord Kapila is none other than, because his husband has told this, that he is Lord himself. So she is going to her son for getting rid of his, knowledge. So she's saying that, I am in the darkness of ignorance, and you are my transcendental eyes. If you remember, just few minutes back, I said, Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So we offer this prayer to our spiritual master, when we accept the fact that I am in the uh, darkness of ignorance, and we are praying to the Guru that with your knowledge, please remove our darkness. So here, now, Mother Devavati also is, approaching um, Lord Kapila to dissipate all the darkness. So she uses the word that you are rising like the sun to dissipate the darkness of ignorance. So a spiritual master is like the sun who is there to remove the ignorance of our life. So we should have that understanding that when we approach our spiritual master, we should have that understanding, I am ignorant. Atato Brahma Jignasa. First thing we should know that we have to inquire the purpose of life. Unfortunately, 99.9% of living and or human beings, I'm not using the word living entity because in other form of life it is not possible to get the knowledge, because the uh, all the other 80 lakh species of life are just in their bodily concept of life. They are just eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's all is their goal. They don't have the intelligence to understand or to inquire that what is the purpose of the life. But 4 lakh species of human life, it is possible for us to this thing. But of course, this 4 lakh species of human form, there are various this thing. In that also, it is not everybody is equipped. For example, anybody born in a jungle, in a tribal form, then I don't know how much it is possible. So we all are very, very fortunate that we have got that kind of intelligence, or whatever you say, our sukriti, that we are trying to understand that what is the goal of our life. So we should all feel fortunate, and we should utilize this opportunity which we have got in this human form of life. So we should not misuse it. So, like you see, the now Mother Devavati is saying that because of my false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and have identified myself with body and consequently body relationships. So, one of the main reason of our this thing is aham mameti, me and mine. I myself identify with the body and my bodily things which are associated with my body. My husband, my wife, my children, my parents, my friends, my society, my community, my state, my nation, my. And that becomes the cause of our entanglement. And Mother Devavati is acknowledging it, and she is saying that I am taking the shelter of your lotus feet because you are the only person of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. Please understand this important point which Mother Devavati is making here, that with our own endeavor, we cannot overcome this ignorance. In India, it is a very, very common concept that, oh, I have God in my heart, and I can just, with my this thing effort, I'll let me read scriptures, and I will be able to overcome all the ignorance. And 99% of, I'm saying of 99% of people who are religious have this understanding that we don't need to go to temple, we don't need to access a guru. And people have this point that, oh, why should we access a guru? A guru is a human being. He has all the faults like us. So what will he guide us? So with that understanding, why do we need association of devotees? We don't need. And with that understanding, they continue their life. They keep watching, in today's world, they keep watching all these bhakti channels. And they watch all philosophies which are being told. Half an hour you will hear some Vaishnava lecture. After that, half an hour you will hear some Shakta lecture. Then after that, some Advaita lecture will come. and people keep listening. At least I'm talking about the retired old people. They sit whole day in front of bhakti channels, and they think that they have full understanding, and and they just uh, you know they just believe that they have understood the absolute truth. So unfortunately, it is not possible. Bhagavad Gita also says that vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So we have to approach a tattvadarshi, a person who has seen the absolute truth. That person only can guide us. I always, get fascinated. This example is that, a person, if you squeeze a orange, you will get orange juice. You will squeeze a mango, you will get a mango juice. You squeeze a lemon, you will get lemon juice. So if you squeeze, so in Bhagavatam, there is a very nice example given that, people, those people who believe themselves to be very knowledgeable, they treat bamboo tree like a sugarcane plant. So if you see by the structure, bamboo tree, the stem of bamboo tree is, same like the stem of sugarcane. They both look similar. But if you try to squeeze a bamboo, you know, this thing, stem or whatever you call it, so what you will you get any juice? You will not get any juice. If you want to get a juice, you have to squeeze sugarcane stem, and then at least I don't know. Earlier times we had this. We used to eat sugarcane. Nowadays teeth are not strong enough, so we used to. Nowadays we go to these juice walas and we drink the juice. But in earlier times there was we used to get those sugarcane stems and we used to eat so we used to get the so if you are approaching a proper bona fide spiritual master, a tattvadarshi, a self-realized soul, then only you will be able to understand this knowledge. You will be able to get this, because a self-realized soul only can make you realize. How can a person who is not realized can give us knowledge? It is not possible. Anyway, so Mother Devahuti, she's asking. So now Kapil Dev is, asking, started talking about philosophy. So this is 13th shloka number 13, where the Lord is talking about personality of God had answered the yoga system, which relates to Lord and the individual soul, which is meant for the ultimate benefit of living entity, and which causes detachment from all happiness and distress in this material world, is the highest yoga system. And so what is the highest yoga system? Because there are many various yogas are there. There is bhakti yoga, there is gyan yoga, which is also referred as sankhya yoga here, and there is ashtanga yoga. So but what Lord Kapila is saying, that it is not possible to understand absolute truth without associating with the Lord. So ultimately, if you see in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna has explained us Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, which is Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. But if you see all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita, even if you see Dhyan Yoga, which is a chapter number 6, at last look at what Krishna is saying. The greatest yogi is one who is meditating upon me. Gyan Yoga, there are many other chapters where this thing, greatest Jnani is now, is one, Vasudevam Sarvamiti, Sa Mahatma Sudurlava. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Sa Mahatma Sudurlava. So Jnani, which Jnani is Durlabha? Who has understood Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is everything. That Jnani who has understood this. So goal of Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga is ultimately the Supreme Lord. So people, unfortunately, they used other yoga system, which is Gyan Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Because if you see, it is very common, any very big industrialist die, that there will be one big paper advertisement, and which one with the shloka? Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu chanad. As if that industrialist has done everything for the Lord. Because karma yoga means if your karma is connecting you to God, if you are giving the results of the karma to the God, then only it's karma yoga. Just doing karma is not karma yoga, no. But people have this conception of, wrong notion of this Gyan, karma, and Ashtanga yoga. They have this. Ashtanga yoga means people are using it for their bodily this thing. So there is no use of this thing if it is not connected. That's what the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Kapila, is saying here. Then, if you see, then various shlokas of this, chapter is glorifying Bhakti. Mataji had very nicely last time, explained all that, and which actually last week's session prompted me to, I generally don't do that, but it was so interesting to hear the glories of Bhakti by Roni Mataji that I got tempted to read this chapter fully. And anyway, I have to prepare for the next chapter. So I went through first this chapter and I found that, so many, interesting points were there in this chapter, and purports have written, Prabhupada has written wonderful purports in this chapter. So the person, if you see, for example, you see the 15th shloka, the stage in which the consciousness of the living entity is attracted by three modes of material nature is the conditioned life. But when the same consciousness is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is situated in the consciousness of liberation. So it is something this is the same thing. It is our same mind. If the same mind is connected to the modes of material nature, we are in the conditioned life. Rajas, Sataguna, Tamaguna, and Rajaguna. But when the same consciousness is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, then that same consciousness becomes the cause of our liberation. So that's why our whole principle, if you read Prabhupada's purport, if in whole this chapter, 25th chapter, if you read the purport of the chapter, Prabhupada time and again he is saying, senses should be engaged in the service of Lord Krishna. So bhakti is nothing very complicated. We have to just divert our consciousness into activities related to the Lord. It is same senses, it's the same working senses, it's the same knowledge acquiring senses, same hand, same leg, same eye, same ear, same mind, everything, same intelligence. It has to be what? How it becomes bhakti? Just engaging them in the service of the Lord. So first step is we engage our senses in the service of the Lord, because senses are the cause of our interaction with this material world. It's through our eyes, it's through our ears, it's through our tongue, through hands, through legs. We are engaging ourselves in material activities. So apparently, devotional activities are also material activities. They are physical activities. Something physical, something gross, is there. So those activities should be engaged in the service of the Lord. That's all. We use the tongue to talk nonsense all the time. So what our acharyas say? Use the tongue in the chanting of the name of the Lord. Use the tongue in the glorifying the Lord. Use the tongue in the talking about the glories of the Lord. So same ear we have, with which we hear all nonsense. Now same ear we can engage in the hearing Krishna Katha. And I'm not sure how many of you have this experience that, we have slowly, changed our taste like this only. Initially, it looks like very bitter. Prabhupada gives this example so many places. A person who is, diseased. What is that disease with which?
Jaundice.
Jaundice, yes. Prabhupada gives all the example all the time, jaundice. So a person inflicted with jaundice, if he takes a sugarcane juice, it looks very bitter. But same sugarcane juice, if it kept on taking, this becomes, sweet after some time. So when we come into bhakti, we have so many other interests. Our eyes want to see various movies, our ears wants to hear different kind of songs and this thing, and so many other tastes. Our tongue want to taste so many different things, abominable things. But what happens is when we engage these things in the service, slowly, 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 like a jaundiced person gets cured, we get taste in bhakti. So process of bhakti is a very simple, gradual process. By constant endeavor, we can achieve it. Because we are sadhak bhakta, we are not, born devotees. We are also, what we are doing, sadhana is like drinking sugarcane juice. Initially, it will look very this thing. When we were being told very initially, I remember, why we have this shiksha process, because no one will take, if very first day we tell you take 16 rounds from today, so everybody will run off. Yeah, what is that, who will spend 2 hours in this thing? So we have this shiksha process where we say, okay, we'll commit for 4 rounds, then 8 rounds, then 12 rounds, then 16 rounds. Like that we will we make progress slowly. So then Lord Kapila continuously, explains the, this process of bhakti. So one very important thing which Lord Kapila is making in this chapter is that every learned means knows very well that attachment to for the material is greatest entanglement of the spiritual soul. But same attachment, when applied to self-realized devotees, opens the door of liberation. So, what we have to do is, because as we make progress in bhakti, our understanding becomes very clear that this material world is a place of entanglement for us. More and more at material endeavor we do for getting material opulences, more and more we will get entangled in this material world. You know, so our goal should be to lead as far as possible a simple life. A definition of simple life, of course, depends from person to person. A person can lead in a hut also with a simple life, but like maybe because we are used to some kind of little bit of convenience, and so it is not possible for me now to, so I am using the car for last 20 years. Now you said me, Prabhu, you have become bhakta, now you don't stop taking, so I have to go to temple 3 kilometers by walk. That's all, I'll go one day only. So, but what it means is simple life is that, we should not be too much dependent on the, if for us car is a mode of transport, let's have some simple car. Let's not do like the worldly people. I should have only big, big cars, or I should have very big, big house. Okay, if we can get, it's fine, but don't get entangled into it. That's what the, Lord Kapila is saying. But the greatest, this thing he's giving to us is attachment to the self-realized soul. And who is the self-realized soul? That also Mataji covered last week, and which is the famous, shlokas like Titikshava Karunika Suhrida Sarvadehinam Ajat Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhu Bhushanaha. So these are some of the. So how should we identify a person is, whom to we should get attached to? So Lord Kapila is giving the hints on that also. First, he's saying you get attached to a self-realized soul. Then he's giving the symptoms of self-realized soul. So he's tolerant, he's merciful, he's friendly, suhrida, he's friendly to everybody. Ajashatrava, he doesn't have any enemy. He's shanta, he's peaceful. He is peaceful. Sadhava sadhu bhushana. So these are the bhushana of a sadhu. These are the characteristics. In English, we say, but if you see, it's a abhushan, like a woman wears some nice this thing. So these are sadhu wears all these qualities as in as these this thing. So, and what the sadhu does? That sadhu is always engaged in the staunch devotional service of the Lord without deviation. And for the sake of Lord, he renounces all the connections like family relationships and family acquaintances within the world. And we have so many such sadhus in ISKCON, you know. If you see, there are, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, His Holiness Radhana Swami, Loknath Swami, Indradyumna Swami, Rompad Swami, they just dedicated their life for Prabhupada. They were all 19, 20, 21-year old boys when Prabhupada asked them to renounce everything. And they did that. And that too coming from the opulent, backgrounds. All of them are opulent backgrounds. But just by associating with a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, they renounced everything. And they themselves became the example of all that, proper, how, a sadhu should be. So, and what is sadhu always doing? Engaged in always engaged constantly in chanting and hearing about me, supreme personalities of Godhead. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with the thoughts of my pastimes and the activities. Last time Mataji gave the example of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, that how Maharaj is going through such a difficult phases bodily from last 17 years when he got the brain stroke. And there is an incident which I think many of you must have heard, that once when after this whole brain stroke thing happened to His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj, and he went to Mayapur, one of his disciples went to see him, and he started crying profusely, seeing the condition of Maharaj. That and Maharaj scolded him. Maharaj scolded him, saying that you are looking a guru at bodily platform. Guru is never at a bodily, a sadhu is never at a bodily platform. So it's very difficult to anticipate for all of us, because we are so much at a little strong, little we fall from our bike and all that. I was there for 3-4 months. I was lying on the bed and I was not able to do any problem. Just I have the ligament tear, So for us, it is very difficult to anticipate. But why they are able to do is because the sadhus are always engaged in the chanting and hearing about the Lord. Their consciousness is fully in the absorbed in the so like that. There's very another important shloka which is there, which is often quoted by Prabhupada, this shloka, which is 25 3.25.25. Satam prasangam mam virya samvido bhavanti hit kirna rasayana katha tad joshanadasva apavarga vartamani shraddha ratir bhaktir anu kramishyati. In the association of pure devotees, discussions of the activities and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and therefore he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. The real devotion and devotion service begins. How the devotion service begins is in the association of pure devotee, discussion of the pastimes and activities of Supreme Lord. They are the, what is the word used here? Hrit Karna Rasayana Katha. So for Karna, they are Rasayana. For ears, they are the this thing, Rasayana. They are Rasa. And with that, our bhakti is, uh, begins. So we should do constant hearing, and as far as possible in the association of devotees, we should do it. I should not use the word unfortunately. It's a blessing also in disguise, that we have now YouTube, and to hear so many ISKCON lectures and develop the taste in, and that's a big solace for all of us, because I don't think every day it is not possible for all of us to go to temple. Prabhupada has made a system that earlier when Prabhupada started ISKCON in US, so he made a system that most of the devotees were staying in the temple. So they will have morning Bhagavatam, evening Bhagavad Gita class, and daytime also they are doing services, book distribution, reading, hearing. So for them it was very easy to make progress. But now at the moment the ISKCON, how ISKCON is, 99% people are grastas who are working, who are staying outside, and sometimes far from the temple. So what for us, the only opportunity is that, every Sunday we should go to temple and personally, take us at least on Sunday. Ideally speaking, we should do every day. If somebody is able to do that, then it's best. But if we are not able to do, then at least on Sunday, I will just use this opportunity to express my little bit of disappointment when I see in temple when Guru Puja is there. From our circle, there are hardly 2-3 families who are there. I only see sometime Rajeshwar Prabhu and maybe sometime uh, Purushottam Prabhu. I don't see devotees there and we have discussed many times that, Sunday feast is a package. Ideally speaking, we should go in Mangala Aarti, then do chanting, then do sit there for Darshan Aarti, Guru Puja, attend Bhagavatam, then do service together. And, that's what the Sunday feast means, not just coming at the time of, seva. Of course, that's a good thing. I know in our circle, many people come at the time of seva, which is good. I'm not, but most of the people of our circle, except 2-3 families, I have never seen them in Guru Puja. And I've told many times, at least if you can't come for Darshan Aarti, you come for Guru Puja. One day take little austerity, you know, come at Guru Puja and pray to Prabhupada, have darshan of the deities when they are opening up first time. And, I don't know if Bhagavatam also, I think most of the people come because there is a coupon we will not get otherwise, sadham coupon. Otherwise, they will not come for that also, which is, I feel it's not good for our own spiritual progress. Temple is not, if 10 people are less, temple, it's not going to hurt temple is it's for our benefit. But what we are not utilizing it, then it's our loss. When we offer the flower to Srila Prabhupada, when we pray, when we pay obeisances, when we are seeing the Lord, it's not that by our having darshan of the Lord we are obliging the Lord. You all know that Surdas ji, that story, he was blind. So once there was in Banke Bihari Mandir, there was full crowd and he's pushing everybody and he's going in the front. Somebody told, you are blind, no, anyway you can't see. Why you're pushing everybody and going to the front? And then Surdas ji told, I am blind, I cannot see Lord, but Lord is not blind, no. Lord can see me. I just want to show myself to the Lord. Ultimately, it's the glance of the Lord which is going to purify us. Our seeing the Lord is not going to, of course, it will purify us, but, ultimately, Lord should acknowledge that, oh, this devotee of mine has come. One day at least he has got up at 7 o'clock, not in Brahmavat, and he has come to see me in my Guru Puja. Prabhupada will be so much happy, to see us be there. So my humble request is at least come by Guru Puja if you cannot come earlier than that on Sundays. And I really appreciate those families who are coming like Rajeshwar Prabhu, Purushottam Prabhu, their families, I really, really, I feel so happy that, they have their family, they have children, I know how difficult to make children get up on time and bring them to temple. It's not easy, you know. I have old parents also. To get them ready on time is so difficult. But I try my best, that we all reach on time. And it's not that my selfishness. I want the children, I want my parents also to get that mercy of the Lord. And we all should take this opportunity. So, so please don't miss it, that opportunity which is coming to us, mercy which is there, at least in the on, Sundays. Anyway, so this chapter, anyway, I'll not spend literally I spend whole time in this chapter. Okay, I have many other things to say, but I'll go to the chapter which I'm supposed to talk. But I've done purposely to talk more about, and Rohini Mataji, should not feel bad that, I talked on the same chapter again. But only my reason was because in this chapter, I don't have much to talk. It is very, very, a sort of dry chapter. So anyway, so what has happened is that in chapter 25, Mother Devahuti has asked about the Adhyatmic Yoga. And Prabhupada say that Adhyatmic Yoga is consist of Bhakti, Jnana, and Ashtanga Yoga. So now, after explaining the glories of Bhakti in full chapter 25, now Lord Kapila, is talking about, Gyan Yoga a little bit. And Gyan means he's, because see, so what is happening is, Mother Devahuti, she, asked, that you, in the 28 to 29 sloka of previous chapter, she asked that you explain me, this yoga. So in that answer to that, Kapila is saying, I will explain you Sankhya. I will explain you Sankhya. So what is Sankhya? Sankhya means analytical study. So why Gyan Yoga is and Sankhya has been used synonymously, in interchangeably? Because what happens most of the time, people who want to understand the Lord through knowledge, what they do is they will read the scriptures, they will try to understand, assimilate the knowledge that how this creation happened, this happened first, that happened, and this like this, and finally how the creation happened. And they will also, so hunam janmanamante gyanvan prapadyate vasudevam sir. So like that they do, and at the last they understand Vasudev is everything. So this chapter is trying to establish the same way, that how the creation happened. We have already discussed how the creation happened in during second canto, and in the starting of third canto also there were some chapters which were dedicated to creation of the universe. And same thing is repeated in this chapter also. Exactly same. I remember I have taken one class in, I think, third canto, initial chapters. In that I have talked the same thing, and I was surprised to see that Lord Kapila is again talking the same thing. So maybe the idea is that people should not think that this analytical study or Sankhya, this thing. Ultimately, Sankhya Yoga also is leading to the fact that Krishna is supreme. So in this chapter, first shloka is actually glorification of, blessing. So Lord Kapila continued, my dear mother, now I shall describe you the different categories of absolute truth, knowing which a person can be released from the influence of modes of material nature. But if you see, Prabhupada is writing, Prabhupada is very clear. If you see in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everywhere, Prabhupada will lead, talk about, even if the sloka is talking about, Sankhya, this thing, but he will talk about bhakti. He will direct it to bhakti, because even Krishna is doing the same thing. So if you see, Sankhya philosophy is especially meant for the people who are conditioned by this material world. It is generally understood by the parampara or system or disciplic system to be the science of devotional service. So if you see, if you do Sankhya, or if you do analytical studies, then what will happen is you will, read well. But if you are going to a proper authorized parampara, what Prabhupada is saying, ultimately it will go to Bhakti Yoga only. So it is considered as the primitive knowledge of Bhakti Yoga. Sankhya Yoga can be considered as the earliest stage of, this thing. So, Tato Mam Tatvato Gyatva, by understanding the Lord according to various categories, one can become eligible to enter the kingdom of Lord. So a person, an intelligent person who has understood the, supreme Lord, that person automatically has understood the Sankhya Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything. That's the intelligent person will do. But still, these things are explained in detail in various Bhagavad Gita as well as in Bhagavatam, so that the people who think, because some people are a little bit, have that this thing, they cannot just directly accept it. Because if you see outside world, many people say bhaktas are emotional, sentimental people. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Jagannath Puri, Sarvam Bhattacharya told that it doesn't look nice to a sannyasi. You are dancing like a sentimental, materialistic person. You are dancing, and you are in this sannyasi dress. You should not do this. So, so people generally mistake bhakti as this thing. But, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught this. We know that pastime of Srirangam, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to, a Brahmana who was not very literate. He was reading Bhagavad Gita in a very wrong way. Shloka was not reciting properly, but his eyes were, he was crying in tears. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, what happened? Why you are seeing? So he gave two things. He told, whenever I see the picture of, Krishna driving the chariot and of Arjuna, I just feel so this thing that Supreme Lord, creator of everything, he has taken such an abominable position of a charioteer. So then he said, okay, if that is there, why you are still, because why you are still doing? So then he says, my guru has told me to do this, I am doing it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced that Brahmana and told, you have understood the essence of Shastras. What is the essence of Shastra? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and order of the spiritual master is the ultimate goal of life. So when our spiritual, when we take Diksha, what the order we get from our spiritual master? Chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles, and helping him in spreading the movement of Srila Prabhupada. That's what the order we are given to us. That are the instructions given to us as the time of initiation. Of course, there may be many people who might have got personal instructions from the spiritual master, but these are the general instructions which are given to us. And anybody who has understood this, who has followed this, Prabhupada has told many times, chant 16 rounds and follow regulative principles, I will take you back to Godhead. So Prabhupada is giving that, guarantee. So in this chapter, that Sankhya is explained, in detail. So if you see the, third shloka, here the characteristics of Supreme Lord is explained. The Supreme Personality of God has his Supreme Soul as Paramatma. He has no beginning. He is transcendental to the modes of material nature and beyond the existence of material world. He is perceivable everywhere. He is self-effulgent, and his self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained. So who is this? And the word uses Purusha. So who is this? So he is Param Purusha. We are also Purusha, but we are not Param Purusha. Every living entity can be referred as Purusha. Actually, interchangeably, in this chapter itself, Purusha word has been used interchangeably. But here, the interchange Purusha means Anadir Atma Purusha, who has no beginning, and Nirguna Prakrite Paraha. Nirguna means, Nirguna doesn't mean that he has no form, which is generally Mayavadis take it. Nirguna means he is above the gunas of this material world. So this material world has this Sata, Raja, and Tamas guna. So, and Prakriti of this material world, he is para, he is above that. So that is the characteristic of Purusha. But and he is, through his effulgence, he is managing the Prakriti. Another important point which is there next to this thing is, as his pastime, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy which is invested with the 3 modes of material nature and is related with Vishnu. So it is in line with shloka which we all know, Devi Hiesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya. So if you see the shloka, Sa Esha Prakriti Sukshmamam Devim Gunamai Vibhu. So it is just by the sweet will of the Lord, this Prakriti or this material world is created. We should not take this material world and everything. When we come to this material world, this will be in next slokas. Actually, it is okay. Let's discuss that. So in that, what happens is, divided into variety of 3 modes, threefold modes, material nature creates the form of living entities. And living entities seeing this are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of illusory energy. So what happens is, living entity, when comes in touch with the material world, start identify themselves with this material world. And what happens is, because of that, the living entity forgets its original position. So if you see in Prabhupada in purports, he writes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his instruction to Sanatana Goswami, he clearly told, Jivera Swarup Hoye Krishner Nityadas. So Swarupa of Jiva is to be Nitya Das of Krishna. But what happens to us when we come to this thing? We become the Das of Maya. We start relating ourselves with our family, with our community, with our nation, and what. And because of that, we become entangled in this material world, as it's mentioned in the seventh shloka. Material consciousness is the cause of one's conditioned life, in which conditions are imposed upon the living entity by the material energy. Although the spirit soul does not do anything, is transcendental to such activity, he is thus affected by conditioned life. As given in Bhagavad Gita, ahankar vimoodatma karta hamiti manyate. So what happens to us, living entities, that out of false ego, we start identifying with us with this material world. And more we identify ourselves with this material world, more and more we are entangled. So now you know why the sadhus, why the sages, they tell us to live a simple life. Because more and more we entangled into this material world, things of this material world, house, car, family, opulence, entertainment, then what will happen is everything, the goal is me. I want to enjoy. And because of that, identifying with myself, you know, that entanglement in this material world becomes more and more strong. So it is very difficult to come out. So, and further, Lord Kapila explains the cause of conditioned souls, material body, senses, and senses presiding deities and demigods in this material world. It is understood by a learned man. The feeling of happiness and distress of the soul, who is transcendental by nature, is caused by the spirit soul himself. So, what happens is, spirit soul, when it comes in touch with material world, it is something like example given in Shastras is the water dropping from the rain is pure, but when it comes and mixed with mud, it becomes muddy. But important point which Prabhupada is, mentioning here is that Jiva has the free will to suffer or not to suffer. The living, if you see, the living entity is the cause of own suffering, but he can also become the cause of eternal happiness. When he wants to engage in Krishna consciousness, a suitable body is offered to him by the internal potency, the spiritual energy of the Lord. And then he wants to satisfy his senses, a material body is offered. And thus, it is his free will to choose to accept a spiritual body or material body. But once the body is accepted, he has to enjoy or suffer the consequences. Isn't it a very striking statement? Because many a times we say, why I'm suffering? We question God, why I'm suffering. Why? When we are enjoying, we generally don't question God. But when we are suffering, we question. But what he is explained here is that we suffering and happiness is in our hands. That free will is given to us. If we want to, we suffer, and will we get the spiritual body or will we get the material body? It is in our hands. By our engaging our senses, our body, our mind in the service of the Lord, we can get the eternal happiness body, spiritual body. But problem is that once we get into the material body, we have to suffer and enjoy the consequences. So better we all take this opportunity which has come to us, in the form of spiritual association which we have. Let's utilize this spiritual association as much as possible so that we can come out of this suffering of in this material world. Anyway, moving further in this chapter, then Mother Devahuti, she asks the characteristic of manifest and unmanifest. Manifest means this material word. Unmanifest word is generally used as pradhan. So there are two words, which is Mahat Tattva and Pradhan. We have discussed this earlier as well in second canto and third canto, various chapter where we discuss the creation. So when this material world is in the unmanifested form, with without the modes, with the modes of material nature, but they are not active, then that unmanifested is called pradhan. And then this chapter explains that five gross elements, five subtle elements, senses and sense objects, mind, intelligence, ego, they all are formed one by one. And once after that, after the glance of the Supreme Lord, this unmanifested becomes agitated, it becomes active. And that state is called Mahat Tattva. And after that, one by one in this chapter, everything is explained how the things are created. In the interest of time, I'll tell very shortly. So after this Pradhan is created, which is five gross elements, five subtle elements, five sense objects, and five working and knowledge acquiring senses, and mind, intelligence, and ego. So they total make 24 elements. So these 24 elements together are called Mahatattva. And then 25th element is time. So Lord is existing actually in the shloka, in that Prabhupada mentions in the 18th shloka, that when the time is, Lord exists internally in the form of Paramatma and externally in the form of time. If you remember in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, in the form of death, I take away everything. So for us, what happens is that time is the factor. So Lord is there as Paramatma externally, internally, and in the form of time externally. So time factor is added, then this consciousness, then false ego, mind, intelligence, and ego. They all are created. They are already created. They become active, and that's how the whole material manifestation is created. All material, this thing is manifested. So now what happens is that after everything is created, which is senses, sense objects, and all this, the problem is it is still in the form of, so universe is still in the form of an egg. And Purusha, which is, as we have discussed earlier, Garbho Dakshai Vishnu form, Lord is still lying there. So when the Lord opens finally, from the Garbho Dakshaya Vishnu, the Virat Rupa is created. We have discussed in second canto in detail Virat Rupa of the Lord. So from the Virat Rupa, which is Lord's form, different things are created: hands, legs, and genitals, and one by one, and their respective devatas are created. We had discussed this earlier also. So all this manifestation happens in this chapter one by one. All that is explained. And at the last, what happens is, because the Lord is as a Garbho Dakshaya Vishnu, he is still, is there. As Virat Purusha is created, everything is created, but nothing is active. So towards the end of the chapter, what happens is that Devatas, they go and try to wake up the Virat form. And then when the Virat Rupa, wakes up, then what happens is that Lord Vasudeva, which is the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's another form, Lord Vasudeva, he enters into the every living thing, or rather non-living thing also, every atom. And then the Prakriti becomes active. And so, but important thing of all this is, we should read the last shloka. I am telling because whatever we do in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, everything ultimately goes to where? Bhakti. So, last shloka says, through devotion, detachment, and advancement in the spiritual knowledge acquired through concentrated devotional service, one should contemplate that super soul as present in this very body, and although simultaneously apart from it. So, super soul who is there within us as Paramatma, and externally he is in the form of Bhagavan. He is present in us in the form of human being. He is Guru. In the form of Vigraha, he is available in front of us. And he in the form of scriptures, he is there. In the form of sadhu, he is there. So if we go and approach them, then only this knowledge which is revealed to us. Otherwise, this all knowledge will remain theoretical. Okay, senses appeared, senses say fire god came, fire god say sun god came, sun god this happened, then these senses came up, then sense object came, then mind came, intelligence came. So all that remains theoretical knowledge if the Supreme Lord is not in picture. So for us, the main point to understand as a bhakta, as a devotee, is of course to understand is how this material creation happened. That is important to us understand. We can go in detail. But if we have not, so that's the mistake which jnanis do is that they want to keep this Lord out of this thing. And then they say, this happened, this happened, this happened. Virat Rupa was there. But how, what is the source of everything? Sarva Karan Karanam is what? Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govinda is the source of all the Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam. So Sarva Karan Karanam is what? Govinda. That Govinda who is Anadiradir Govinda. He has no beginning and he is the cause of all the beginning. That Govinda Brahma is worshipping. Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So the essence of this whole chapter is that creation happens. Anybody wants to go, please go through. I didn't want to go into detail of from which sense, which is the demigod. Like for example, for it is mentioned for speech, fire god is the main deity. For other senses, wind god is, and like that they are explained in detail. So I didn't want to go through because for us, what is there? We have that understanding. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. So we are, understood from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam that Krishna is the cause of all the causes. So for us, going into detail of that understanding each and every this thing, how it happened step by step, actually it is not required. Because ultimately goal of that understanding is what? To understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But so we are not, there are two ways to acquire knowledge. Prabhupada say in his books, no? Aro, Avro. Aro is, whoever are people from the musical background, they know Aro means Saregama Padanisa, means you are going from the low and going to the top. Avro is what? Sani Dapa Magaresa. You are coming from the top and you're coming to the bottom. So what we are doing is, Bhaktas, what they do is, they read the scriptures, but they bank upon more on the knowledge which is acquired by the acharyas. Whatever knowledge which acharyas are giving to us, we directly take it, and it is something like juice we are taking. We don't want to go into to the jungle, find out where is the mango tree, then where is the ripened mango, then take it out and then peel it off, then make the juice, and then we drink it. What we do is directly juice is coming to us. We just take that juice directly, and whatever time and energy we have, we use in the service of the Supreme Lord. Because our understanding is clear, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so it is 7:20. I will end the session now. I thought we'll discuss some Jagannath pastime, but I don't think time is there. So I'll end the session here with this understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you so much. Srimad Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody has any question or comments? Please let me know. Nitai Priya Mataji is saying some pastimes of Jagannath Ji. I don't know.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, 5 or 10 minutes we can have, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so what we'll do is anybody who is getting late because the time is over, please feel free to drop. And those who wants to continue, maybe one or two pastimes of the Lord, we will discuss. So one of the
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhu, sorry to interrupt. Very, very sorry. Prabhu, one question before we get into Jagannath pastimes. This Sankhya philosophy, how do we, do we really implement that in our approach, or do we follow Bhakti Yoga and all of it? So what is the subtle difference and how do we...
Prabhu, is Sankhya Yoga also, actually, if you see Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, he has used interchangeably Sankhya Yoga as Bhakti Yoga also. So the point is that goal of all these yoga is bhakti yoga only, ultimately.
Finally,
In
yes.
the 25th chapter, which Rohini Mataji has taken last time, she had made this point also. And Lord Kapila is saying this, that without bhakti to understand jnana and yoga is waste of time. So Sankhya, for a devotee, for us, it is not very important to understand the nitty-gritties. Of course, means we should, high level, we should know that, how Lord created this material world. So there is nothing wrong in saying that we want to read Sankhya Yoga or we want to understand Sankhya Yoga. But the point is that, most of the people get carried away in that Sankhya Yoga and they, okay, nitty-gritty of that. And ultimately they forget the goal. That Prabhupada warns us against that. That's why he doesn't, if there is, I forgot the shloka number, I was surprised to see where Lord Kapila is saying in this chapter that to Mother Devahuti, let me explain you Sankhya Yoga. Prabhupada has not written even purport of that shloka. You will be surprised to know. I was thinking that where Lord Kapila is saying that Mother Devahuti, I will explain you Sankhya now. I was thinking Lord will explain.
Correct.
So I was just preparing. I was thinking, okay, let me read so that I can explain. Prabhupada has not written single line of purport in that shloka. And where other shlokas, he is again directing us to Bhakti Yoga only. So he doesn't, as he doesn't want us to get too much carried away by this, how this. So as I was saying, it not through the Aroho way, it is not going the ascending way. We have already, he's saying, I am giving you the full gist of this thing. You take this just as Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, I was telling you, Bhunam Janmanamante Gyanvam Vasudevam Sarvamti Samatman Sudurlava. So person who has understood that Vasudev is everything,
you don't have to.
Mahatma is very Durlabha. Yeah. So anybody, but there are some people who will be intellectual tilt because there are a lot of people, and in ISKCON also I see many people who explain in detail, and there are many sessions on. We have that chart of Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has created, and there are hours classes are available on that how all that creation happened. So means a person who has the intellect to understand all that should surely go for it. But we should remember the goal is this. That's what is the whole idea.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
By the way, good to see you, Prabhu.
Same here, Prabhu. So much I'm missing.
We are missing you all. Missing you in all our sevas.
Yatra, yeah, coming up tomorrow. So all our prayers, Prabhu. Please pray for us and pull Rath on our behalf also.
100%, bro. We'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, bro. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. So, 7:25, I don't know. So, some of the... See, I'll not go into the story how Lord came and all that. I think that's a little longer story. Some of the pastimes maybe we can discuss. See, one of the very famous pastime is about one of the so there are three aspects to Jagannath's Leelas. One is Garva Bhanjan. Garva Bhanjan means removing the pride of the people who are very proud. Second one set of activities is Patit Pavan, where he is delivering the fallen people. And third kind of activities are Bhakti Ranjan. Bhakti Ranjan rather. Ranjan means entertainment. For the entertainment of his bhaktas, he is doing entertainment in the sense to please them. And the goal of entertainment is to please them. Like we say Manoranjan. So something which gives ananda to mana is Manoranjan. So here Bhakta Ranjan means something which gives ananda to a bhakta. So for bhakta, Lord, the activities of the Lord gives ananda. So one such bhakta is in category of Bhakta Ranjan, is that, one of the Lord's bhakta is famous pastime is that Dasa Bauri. So Das Bauri actually was a low caste, person. And in older times, the low caste people were not allowed inside the temple. But he was very, very great devotee of the Lord. So he used to cry aloud that, oh Lord, I want to have your darshan. So as you all know, the people who are not foreigner background today, in today's context, it is people with the other religion and foreign background, they are not allowed inside. So what they generally do is they go in front of the Lord and they look at the Sudarshan, which is on the top of Jagannath temple, and it is considered that the darshan of this thing is equal to the having darshan of the Lord. And second thing is Patita Pavan. You can go at the gate, Singadwar, and you will see that one Jagannath ji is there. Because you can't enter, you just have darshan of the Lord. So this Dasa Bauri used to do, but inside he wanted to this thing enjoy the Lord, So what happened one day? He had the Lord Jagannath came in his dreams, and he told that I want to have mangoes. So Das Bauri, told Lord that in the dream he told that how will I, because nobody will allow me to come inside and offer you the mango. So then Lord told, you just offer me from the gate of the Simhadwara, I will accept it. So what this guy did, that he took 40 mangoes and he stood in front of that Garud Dwaja, and he stood there and he loudly started chanting, Jagannath, please accept mangoes, please accept mango. So these pandas and all that, they started making fun of him. They thought that, he is, some dramebaj person. Then they were surprised to see that mangoes disappeared. Then after some time, again he took two more, again he took two more. So like that, 10, 15 mangoes he received. So these pandas, they told, this person is some magician. He is just to attract the attention. He is doing all this. So they scolded him, but then he continued. Like that, he offered 40 mangoes. And every time the mango will go from his hand, go away. Then what happened is, and these pandas, they created a big fuss about it, that, this guy is making drama and all that. So this person kept on saying, no, Lord came into my dream. He asked me to offer mangoes. So this thing, they told, no, we will not accept. Lord has eaten. So okay, if Lord has eaten the mangoes, then, Lord should have this seed and peel. So Das Bari told, okay, you go inside and see in Garbhagodi. And by the way, this pastime, all these pastimes are recorded in the temple's register. These are not the pastime which has happened, some written in Skanda Purana and Phala Purana and all that. These are recorded stories. And Das Bauri's story happened in 1800, something like that. It's not a story which happened some, other millennium, Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga, it happened. These are the all pastimes which has happened very recently, 100, 150 years back. So what happened is these pandas, they went inside and they saw that in the, what do you call that? Ratna Bhandar or something they call it, where the Lord is put. So that basically altar of the Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra and Sudarshan. So there were 40 mango seeds, and there were the peels of the mangoes lying all over that place. So Ratna Bedi, yes, Nitai Premataji is saying. So they were, mangoes all around. So like that, Lord is very, very, reciprocative. So this is something like Bhakta Ranjan example. Now, Patit Pavan example, Bhakta Ranjan, there are many stories, but anyway, see, this Patit Pavan example is Patit Pavan Jagannath himself. How did Patit Pavan Jagannath came? This is a long story, but I will tell in short that, there was a king with the name Ramachandra Dev. And Ramchandra Dev was a king around 1700 something. So he was the king of this whole Katak area. So that time there was a Mughal, there was some Mughal empire in the Delhi, but he has one, what you call Sultan or something like that with the name Taki Khan, who was in the area of Bengal and some portion of Orissa. So what happened? He once attacked, Katak. So what happened in that fight? King Ramchandra Dev, he lost, and he was captured. He was put in a jail. So now this Taki Khan, he was a Muslim. So he wanted to get the revenue from the Jagannath Puri because lakhs of people come for darshan. So he wanted to put, what do you say, uh, uh, tax on the people who are, coming. So, so his idea was that. So he went to this Ramchandra Dev in the prison. He told, I'm going to put a tax on all the pilgrims who are coming. So Ramchandra Dev was a great devotee of the Lord. He told, okay, no, don't do that. So he told, okay, I can get rid of you if you marry my sister. So her sister's name was Rajya. So Rajya, if you marry Rajya, I will not put tax on the pilgrims. Now king is in a very much dilemma, because if he says yes, then at that point of time, the tradition was that anybody who marries a Muslim becomes a Muslim. Forget marry. If you remember in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a pastime of what is that, Subahu Khan or something like that. No, there some Muslim has spitted on him, and then Brahmanas of that time told that since the Muslims have spitted on you, you have become Muslim. Now you are outcast, and he is not allowed to do anything. And he comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and you know what they told him? They told him, you drink the hot ghee, and then your sins will be washed because you are become a Muslim. Like that kind of weird notion was there. So, so what happened is this person, he goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that you don't do anything. You just chant the holy name of the Lord. You will be purified automatically. So same thing. This happened because Ramchandra Dev, he is a little bit now uh, worried. So he doesn't want to get, because after he marries a Muslim girl, he will not be even allowed to enter into the temple. Pandas will not allow him. So he is in a dilemma. That time, this Rajya comes to meet Ramchandra Dev, and she says that see, my brother will not listen to anything. He will not leave you if you don't marry me. But I'm telling you, you marry me because I am a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So she says that my mother was a Hindu lady and she was a Lord Jagannath devotee. But my father forcefully married my mother. And by that I was born. But from the deep of my heart, by the values which are given by my mother, I am a great devotee of Jagannath. And I am guaranteeing you that you don't have to touch me. Because if you touch me, you will become Muslim. But yeah, externally world will not know. So, but I am giving you guarantee that your religion will not be spoiled, something like that. So ultimately, Ramchandra Dev also thinks that, okay, let me marry. So he marries. So now he stays in Khurda. Khurda is just, I think, some kilometers away from Jagannath. We also get down at Khurda road station, no, when we go by train to Jagannath Puri. So his palace was there. So every night, because they totally, after that whole kingdom became against the king, because they thought that king was a lusty this thing. He married a Muslim woman. They didn't know that he did it for as a sacrifice. So what they did is that they totally declared that this king will not be allowed into the temple, and they were doing a lot of prayers they used to do every day. They told, we are stopping all these prayers now. This king and will not be they will not offer any lamp on the name of the king, and all those, literally they totally this thing. So this person was very sad. Every day in the night, he used to come in front of the Lord, and he will, in the midnight, because that time nobody will be there. He will come, he will cry loudly, he will say to Jagannath that why you have done this to me. Then like that, he continued for months. One day what happened is Lord Jagannath from the inside, he came out and he gave darshan to Ramchandra Dev. And he told, don't worry, every day, whenever you will come, I'll give darshan to you. So this Ramchandra Dev will come every day to this thing. But what was happening is that when the Lord is coming out from the inside Garbhagudi to outside gate, Singadwar, so it is a little bit of distance, right? So all the flowers will be lying. Sometimes his dupatta will be lying. All that will be lying on this thing, on the way. So when pandas will come in the morning, they will be all bewildered. What is happening? Every day this is happening. And what will happen is that Ramchandra Dev will see the Lord. Nobody else will be. So they thought that, king is coming every day, something is happening. But they will just see that, Ramchandra Dev in ecstasy. Every day he will see the Lord, he will cry, he will say, he will be talking, but they will not be able to see Lord. Only Ramchandra Dev will be say. But they will observe that flowers are falling, all these dupatta is falling, all those things are happening. So that chief panda of this thing, one day, he fasted and prayed to the Lord that please let me know, what is the right thing to do. So Lord Jagannath came into his dream that he says that, Ramchandra Dev is a great devotee of me. So you establish one deities at the gate of Singadwara, where the people who cannot come inside, they can have darshan of myself. So then there was another deities are installed at the this thing at the gate. So that's where you enter. Most of the reels and all that in nowadays it's a real time. Everybody. So in that they show that from the gate they will show the big eyes. So that is as soon as we enter on the right hand side, that is called Patit Pavan Jagannath. So that's how the story of Patit Pavan Jagannath came. So this is one example of how the Lord is Patit Pavana. There is another aspect of this Lord is Garva Banjana, means how the Lord breaks the Garva, the proud of the people. So in that, there is a story which is recorded in Jagannath Puri temple is about one Jagata Seth. His name was something else, Dhananjay or something, but he is known as Jagat Seth because he was very rich. He was from Hyderabad. And he went to Jagannath Puri, but he was very proud. So he went to Pandas and he told, I give you 1 lakh rupees, and you have to just within one bhoga, you should make such a thing that within one bhoga, you should offer whole 1 lakh rupees amount. You prepare some such a thing that you offer to the Lord 1 lakh rupees. That time it is 1700 or something. This pastime is that time he went to the pandas. Now pandas, then they told, okay, you give us 1 lakh, we will utilize it. They said, no, in one bhoga, 1 lakh should be used. See, that time on 1 lakh, what can you make for the Lord in 1 lakh rupees? Now itself 1 lakh is more, but that time itself, in some 200 years back. So the pandas were very bewildered. So in one of the chief pandas or whatever, some pandas dream, Lord came. The Lord told him, you tell this Jagat Seth that he should get one there in the scriptures, there is mentioned about some elephants. They are called Gajamani. I don't know if I'm using the right word, Mani Gaja or Gajamani, something like that is there. So that Gaja, elephant, in the scripture is mentioned, if the elephant is brahmachari, means he has never had union with the female elephant, he develops one money in his head. And that elephant, that money is even valuable than the diamond. It is very, very valuable. So you tell that Jalasek that he should get the Gajamani and crush it and offer me as pan. The pan we offer, right? Beetle leaf. So we eat pan outside, right? So we put some tuna and some things are added in that pan, sometimes sweet, and then we eat. Pan is a very small thing. I don't know what is the cost because we don't eat. It may be 5-10 rupees max now also. So the Lord is, told you tell Jagat Seth to offer me a pan, but with the crushed this thing, money, Gajamani that too. So then the next day, that Panda told this to Jagasek that Lord has come in my dreams and he has told me to get me the pan. So this Jagasek started laughing. Pan? What a pan? Lord is after. Your Lord is so this thing. He's asking me pan. So then he told that's what. But condition is Gajamani should be grinded and put it into. So then then Lord, then Jagat Seth, he went out and he asked, where is Gajamani? So people, Gajamani, you go in the forest, you ask, search for elephants. Maybe one elephant in some lakhs of elephant, one elephant will have like this Gajamani. So then Jagat Seth, immediately he realized that it's all Lord's Leela. Lord is playing with him to crush his proud. So he came back to the temple and he stood in front of the Lord and he asked for forgiveness and Lord gave him darshan. And he told that I don't like my devotees to have any proud. When you come to me, basically, which means is when we go to the Lord, we should go with the humility, with the simple heart. That's why I always say devotees, and it's not what I say means it is written in Bhagavatam. Devotees should be simple hearted. whatever we are conditioned in our previous activities in our material life, one thing which we have to move it out is crookedness in our dealings with, specifically with devotees. We should become, with our dealings with devotees should be so simple, that Lord is attracted to that. Lord is not attracted to our big offerings, big sevas, and this thing. Lord is attracted by the simple heart. So, like this, the story of Garva Bhanjan is that. There is another story I do. With that, we'll end. Very interesting story. I always like that. That is the story of Raghu Das. So Raghu Das actually was a devotee of the Lord. So he used to that Lord. So the Lord, he will go in front of the Lord, and Lord used to actually come and play with him. So one day, what he did is that he told he was a very famous devotee of the Lord. So once Lord told him that that I want to eat cuttle. What is cuttle called in this in English?
Jackfruit.
Jackfruit.
So jackfruit is very dear to Lord Jagannath. So that has come from this pastime actually. So he told to Raghu Das that I want to eat this thing. Why don't we go? So Lord, he told that I will. Okay, let's go. So both of them, they went into the garden where this jackfruit tree is there. So Lord Jagannath told that you climb this jackfruit tree and throw these jackfruit, the ripened jackfruit, which are sweet. You throw it, I'll catch it, and then we'll eat. So this that I'm not able to fully recall the story, but what happened is that Lord, when that Raghu Das, he went into the top of the tree and he took one jackfruit and throw it down, because he can see the Lord, that Lord is there. But what happened in the background, that gardener came from there. So gardener saw that this person is climbing on the jackfruit tree, and he's this thing, he's breaking, he's stealing the jackfruit. So but Raghudas is throwing it down, telling Jagannath, please catch it. So he threw from the top, but what happened? Jagannath disappeared because the gardener is coming there, and this jackfruit fell up into the down, and gardener immediately came there, and he got hold of this thing. But he was taken to the king, and he was told that this thing has happened, and he was stealing this thing. So then king started laughing, because Raghunath was already famous as a devotee. So he told that, okay, now onwards, every day we will offer jackfruit to the Lord. So, the Lord sometimes plays with his, devotees and puts them into very funny situations. Like that, there are many stories. I don't know, maybe 7:46 already. I don't want to delay it like that. Then there is a story of Karma Bai, who, who used to cook the khichdi for the Lord. And, so the Lord used to come. And once some Brahmanas told that what you are cleaning, she doesn't used to take bath and all that. She used to cook like this. And Lord then told that, okay, he used to come, but then the sannyasi told, you should clean yourself. And so she used to take bath, and this thing, so it became delay. And every day morning, Lord used to come, but now the khichdi is not ready. So Lord became late. So when khichdi is ready, in a hurry bari, he ate all that khichdi, and he burned his whole mouth and all that, and he ran back to the temple. And when the pandas opened the temple, they saw all the blisters are there on the Lord Jagannath's this thing. And then Lord came in the dreams of the king, and he told that, I want to eat Karma by this thing. Please ask her to prepare in the way she was preparing, not washing, not taking bath. And with what she used to do, no, she used to do that datun, to clean that neem stick. With that, she used to mix khichdi, and that used to come. Lord used to eat with Balram. So then Lord came in the dream. So even till now, the first offering to the Jagannath is done and the khichdi of karma by it is in the respect to the devotee. Like that, those traditions started. A lot of traditions have the background in the pastimes of the Lord, which are done. There are like that many pastimes are there. So we are very, very happy to, we are very fortunate rather that tomorrow we have the opportunity to serve the Lord. All devotees, please bring bhogas for the Lord, and we will be offering the bhogas in the starting point of the temple around 2:30, starting of Rath Yatra at 2:30, and please pull the Ratha. Uh, but this time they have temple has made some arrangements to put only for some time. So you just don't be always with the rope all the time. Just touch it once or twice, pull it, because it's a machine driven this thing. It is not, it is going to move with the pull machine, the Rath Yatra, Ratha. So you just touch it couple of times and give opportunity to new people, because a lot of people see Rath Yatra means a lot of people who are not coming to temple, they come and they see the Ratha and they pull. So you should give opportunity to them as well. So, but once or twice you can pull, and if space is there, you pull. If you feel too crowded, you can move away, because there is a this after this the RCB stampede, police is very, very cautious, and they have warned temple that nothing mishap should happen, nobody should fall and all that. So they have requested temple to be devotees to be become more sensible. I'm not sure how much people will be, but at least we all can ensure that nobody falls, nobody gets injured. Every year it happens that while pulling rathas, some of the matajis, they fall, they get injuries. It happens in our temple also. So we can be a little bit cautious, helping other devotees to pull ratha. And main thing is that let's pray to Jagannath that please give us your mercy, please give us the bhakti, like the interactions you have done with so many other devotees, like this Karma by Raghudas, Das Bauri. These all looks all stories, but they are the pastimes of the Lord, leelas of the Lord. So let's pray to the Supreme Lord that He, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. We sing that, no? So let Lord be the object of our eyes. So this is an opportunity for us to uh, very, very purify our consciousness by engaging in the service of the Lord. So please don't miss this opportunity. Participate in Ratha, be there, help others.